wanted to spend a few minutes talking to you about some things to help us get oriented in the course. One thing that you should know is that I've actually put a video and a lesson on Canvas at the very top of our homepage. And the purpose of that is to introduce you to the course and some of the rules and things like that. So there is that, but there's a few things I also wanted to bring up on my own because they are near and dear to my heart. So my due dates, when you look at the assignments, you'll see that there are certain things that are due every week. Those due dates are there to help you stay on track. Those due dates are not the same as the deadlines. There's actually really only two deadlines in the course. One of them is before the midterm and the other one's before the final. So you can actually turn your work in late without any penalty. But if you make a habit out of that, at the end, you're going to be turning in a lot of work that's going to make you want to pull your hair out and also make me want to pull my hair out. And as you can see, we don't have much. So take my word for it. The best thing for you to do is to stay on top of it. And it shouldn't take that much time. Okay, so there's that. There's three types of materials that we're going to be using, or three different kinds of assignments, I guess you could say. There's the module lessons and the discussions and extra credit. So module lessons are, you will see on our Canvas homepage, there are different lessons marked M with some number. And what you do is you click on that and it will give you a link to a Jupyter book file, which has really it's kind of a podcast, broadcast kind of thing about the lesson. There's no video lessons really. It's a kind of more of an audio thing. And there's also much text to go with that. And then there's a link back to Canvas where you will answer certain questions. And there's quite a few of these. There's probably at least two or maybe more that you will want to do a week. The thing about these is that, again, they have a due date and a deadline. The due date is really kind of soft, but it's there for your to kind of help you keep along with it. And the deadline is a hard deadline. You can't turn anything after that. So now the way that those are going to work is each one of them has 20 points. Basically, each one's worth 20 points. And what will happen is before the midterm and before the final, I will add up all the points that you've accumulated from doing these module assignments. And if you achieve a certain number, which I haven't decided yet what it is, but it's about 80%. If you get about 80% of the total points before the midterm or before the final, then you'll be exempt from taking the exam. So you can. My thinking is if you can answer all these questions, then you don't need to take the exam because you already know the stuff you've demonstrated. If you don't answer the questions or if you don't get enough points, then you can take the exam. You will take the exam. The one thing that you should know about these is that I will go through and I will grade these. And if you get a low score on them, there will be comments about how you could improve. And you can use those comments to resubmit. And you can resubmit as many times as you think are necessary. So you can turn it in late without penalty. You can resubmit after it's graded up until the deadline. After that, nothing can be submitted. Okay, so that's the module assignments. The second thing is the discussions. And except for the first discussion, which is like a getting to know you kind of thing, which I'm encouraging you guys to do because then you'll have some idea who you're actually accomplishing this with. Even though we're doing it asynchronously, we are doing it as a class. So it will be nice for you to kind of come to know who each other are. Okay. Um, the first assignment is just that it's just the first discussion is just a get to know you discussion. Every other discussion after that will consist of two different parts, an analysis and a discussion itself. So the analysis is going to be you'll access some source, maybe a video or a document of some kind, and you'll watch that source or read that source or whatever, and then you'll answer some questions on it, and that will prepare you for the discussion. And the discussion will consist of a prompt that I will give you that you will discuss with your peers. Okay, so now because both of those things, the analysis and the discussion, are part of the same assignment, you have to do both to get any credit. So if you turn in the analysis but you don't discuss, then you get 0 points. And if you do the discussion but you don't turn in analysis, you get 0 points. You have to do both. I just want you to know that right up front, because a lot of people think, well, I'll just do the analysis and I don't like doing online discussions. And I'm not sure anybody really does, but that's part of this course, and so we're going to have to do it. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now, the other thing is that the discussion will be open for 8 days. You will have 8 full days to submit your analysis and to discuss with your peers whatever it is I posted in the prompt. At the end of that 8 days, at 11:59 on Mondays, the discussion closes. I will not accept any work submitted after that deadline, because the discussion is a live event. Even though it lasts for a week and we're in an asynchronous course, we can only discuss with each other when the discussion is available to all of us. So you kind of have to think about it like maybe a personal meeting or even a Zoom meeting, where the meeting lasts from say 10 to 11, and after 11 everybody just packs everything up and goes home. If you show up at 11:15 and the room is empty, you didn't attend the meeting. You didn't participate in the discussion, so you won't get any credit for it. Okay. Same thing with the analysis. If you show up at a meeting ready to prepared to present your ideas that you learned in the analysis, but the room is empty, who are you actually discussing with? Nobody. So everything has to be turned in by the deadline. That is a hard and fast rule. I will not allow any submissions after the deadline on discussions. I have had so many students think that there were good reasons for not turning their work in, and there may be, that's not my prerogative, but I can't give you credit for doing something that you didn't do. And if you didn't participate in the discussion when it was live, then you didn't discuss. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The discussions are actually, I think they should be something that would be interesting for you, because I try to choose topics that should be interesting to you, that are pertinent to your lives at this point. And so if you put some effort into it and you recognize that we're in a group now where there's a lot of diversity, where we can bounce our ideas off of people who probably don't think even remotely the way we do. And that will help us to hone our own ideas, our own opinions. It'll help us to grow intellectually, right? So the point of this all is to turn this into a useful learning exercise. It's not just a box that you check off so that you can get it done and move on. Okay. The other thing, again, kind of going along with that, is when I say that the discussion is due at 11:59 on Monday, 11:59 p.m. on Monday, don't wait till 11:45 to try to do it because number one, um, the technology never fails unless you need it, and then it always fails. So if you wait till quarter to 11, quarter to 12 to try to turn your work in and you have a technical problem and you can't resolve it and you can't turn your work in, you're out of luck because I won't accept any late submissions. Okay. So give yourself a break there. The second thing is, how can you think that uh, logging in and haphazardly writing a few sentences, um, 15 minutes before the discussion closes is actually discussing anything. So take the assignment seriously, keeping in mind that really it's really for your benefit. It's not for my benefit. Okay, I don't want to be a buzzkill, but I do need to talk about this. It's probably easier than ever now to cheat because everybody has access to AI tools that will answer any question you want to ask them, not always accurately, but they'll always answer. And it's very difficult to tell sometimes if the answer has been generated by AI or if it's generated by a student. Now, I generally know where students should be able to, or what skills students should be able to have when they're doing these discussions or the assignments, but it's not always possible. So I'm pretty good, I think, at catching cheating, and if I do catch you cheating, there will be serious consequences for that. But if I don't catch you cheating, you should know that if you are able to get away with cheating and you pass the course, you still failed. And the reason why you failed is because who you cheated was yourself. You cheated yourself out of an opportunity to learn something that is really important for you and can be important in the future. So even if you pass the course, you will still fail. And sadly, at some point in the future, you will recognize your failure. So I would urge you to just do your best, keeping in mind that I'm going to grade at the level where you are. So you don't have to worry about being perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. I just want to see where you are and I want to see improve. That's all. Okay. So the main then task is going to be you listen to the lesson, you read the book, and then you answer the questions and you do the best you can. And that's good enough. You don't have to go to any outside source. You can use AI if you want to help you with your writing skills, your grammar and punctuation and all that stuff. Uh, you can use it for that. I don't have any problem with that. But don't use it to do your work because it's just bad form for everybody. So enough of that. The last kind of assignment is extra credit. Extra credit, uh, there's already actually some extra credit on Canvas right now, and there will be more as we go through the semester. And the extra credit is obviously just extra credit, meaning that you don't have to do any of it. But if you miss points because, for example, you didn't get your discussion turned in on time, or you missed some other assignment, you can make a lot of those points up with extra credit. So there's going to be enough to allow you to get well over the 1,000 point maximum that I've set for the course, right? I just want you to keep that in mind because it will be available to you. And especially, if you think, well, I should have been able to turn my thing in on time, but I couldn't get there because, I was abducted by aliens or, the president called me on the phone or whatever it was, it doesn't matter to me why you didn't do it. Just you can do the extra credit to make up the points. And in the end, it'll all work out. Okay. That's pretty much it. I want to just welcome you all to the class. Again, you probably won't be seeing me during this class because, as you can tell, I'm not a very good speaker. But the material is all going to be there. I'll be available on my Canvas email and also on Zoom during my office hours, Mondays and Wednesdays. So if you need to talk to me at any time, I really do want to help you and I encourage you to do the best you can. And I hope we have a great semester. and that's it. Live long and prosper.